It's digital game time!
Another edition of DGT Live coming at you from the Central Coast of California. I'm Leo along with
Francisco.
And today we're bringing to you another show. I know we've been kind of on and off lately. We've been trying to figure out the Rick situation. We still don't know what's going on with the Rick situation. He keeps saying yes, he keeps saying maybe, then he goes nope.
He's
minute.
hot and then he's cold.
Yeah, and the worst part is it's all last minute, so we're kind of left out hanging. Yeah, Rick. Yeah, we're throwing you under the bus in this episode. Sorry, but the fans must know why we haven't been bringing it to you. But today we're gonna bring it to you. We got a very special show, and Francisco, you got that playlist waiting for us, right?
But is it a special show, Leo? Is it really special?
It will be special.
We'll make it special just for you. We don't need no Rick to help us make this special. For everyone out there that wants Rick back, drop a comment. Or if you don't want him back, then I guess this is it.
We're going to set up a Patreon so you can send us money so we can continue the show without Rick.
Without Rick.
Or to resuscitate him.
Resuscitate him.
Yes.
Yeah. Nah, he's going through some stuff. Nothing serious. Or is it? What?
Let Rick explain that one to you.
Yeah. I mean, but he's still alive. Nothing bad happened to him.
No, he's good. We're just kidding with
He didn't get arrested. He didn't get deported. I mean, he was born here, so it's like it'd be kind of weird if he got. But
well, he could go to another country and then get deported back here.
Yeah,
I suppose.
Yeah. But it's all good.
It's all good. Cool. Francisco, it's been a while
since it has. Yes.
Since we've done this show, it's been what, like 3 weeks now.
Yeah. Last week we didn't do it because you had some issues. It was scheduled.
I think you were at Disneyland, weren't you?
No, that was the previous week.
Or the previous week.
Yeah.
Last week,
you had
I had
internet
something
issues,
going on. And yes, that's right. That's right. Good memory, Francisco.
Yeah.
At my old age in my cane, and I forget the things sometimes, you know. I would also like to remind everybody watching, AJ, I see you on there. I'd like to remind everybody watching, like AJ's watching, that you can drop comments down below. We will be reading them live throughout the show. Drop a shout out. Drop a comment about what we're talking about, or even a suggestion.
Drop.
You know, we're open to talking about whatever. Yeah. Yeah, we need more material topics.
Yeah. Okay, well, we're going to start this week's show with some of the stuff I had planned last week.
Before we do that, what's new? What's new with you?
What's new with me?
It feels like it's been a while.
We got a new car.
Yes.
A brand new car.
What kind of car?
And this is the first time ever that we've owned a brand new spanking car, like a brand new year.
Congratulations,
car.
Francisco.
Thank you, buddy. See, we always buy used because it's a lot of money, you know. And cars depreciate in value like as soon as you get them out of the lot.
I've heard the number, $3,000 or $4,000
right
the
away.
Moment you drive it off the lot. It depreciates.
So that's why we were never interested in getting like brand new models, you know, brand new like year. But this time the deal was too good to pass on.
Okay.
So we're looking for a crossover, you know, just small SUVs. And we ended up, we actually started going for a Rogue, Nissan Rogue, used 2017 that cost like $17,000.
Please tell me it's called the Rogue One.
No, it's just the Rogue. Just the Nissan Rogue. And it's like, hey, let's go check it out. We were going to test drive it and everything. But then because it's used, I guess the previous owner didn't really take that, you know, good care of it.
Yeah.
And so the cargo area.
A new car, but it was pre-owned?
No. This is the car we went to get.
Oh, okay.
It was a pre-owned.
I see.
And so the cargo area was kind of messed up because, you know, I guess he was hauling stuff and like put like a big old desk, oak desk in the back and scratched the ceiling, and it was a mess. So we were about to get it when the guy's hostman was like, hey, why don't you just, you know, try out a brand new car? And so we saw the Toyota RAV4 2018.
Toyota, good brand.
And payment-wise, it was to be about the same exact thing. Used car versus a brand new one. Of course, the brand new one, more payments. But in the long run, it was going to be about the same payment a month. So we're like, you know what? Let's do it.
Let's do it. Yeah.
And we did. We got a lease with option to buy.
Okay.
So 3 years, we're just leasing, and then after the 3 years, it's I think 12,000 to 14,000 payoff.
That's the way to
own
go,
it.
I guess. I mean, I've never done it that way, but
It's
for
better. It's
brand
better.
spanking new car.
It's better when you're trying to get pre-approved, because most of the time, if you're trying to buy an actual vehicle and your
Yes.
credit's not that great,
Oh,
you're
I
not
see.
gonna get approved for the loan.
Right. Exactly.
And when you're just leasing, you're
Mhm.
basically just renting. You're
It's
not
like a
owning.
rental.
Exactly. And so you're more likely to get approved that way.
Right.
And so when it's time to buy it, you're already pretty much pre-approved. So,
Hmm.
so that's what's new with me.
Good strategy. Good strategy. I'm liking it.
So yeah, let's start this playlist from last week that I was already, ready to go. So if some of the news seem a little old to you, that is why. But I think they're still fresh.
Drop some comments, suggestions.
I think
all
they're
that stuff.
still good and they're still current.
You can find us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram. All at keyword Digital Game Time.
Digital Game Time. Without further ado,
Adieu.
what are we watching here, Leo?
Let me see. Ooh, we're watching
The
some
brand
Transformers.
new spanking Bumblebee trailer. And this caused a lot of hoopla in the internet, a lot of commotion, and a lot of talk, because we are going to see, I don't know exactly at what point, but we're going to see the Generation 1 Optimus Prime and Soundwave as you saw them in the cartoon.
Wait, so is this the prequel?
This is a prequel, yes.
Yeah.
This
That's
is when
awesome.
this is when Bumblebee was sent
pretty cool.
down to Earth,
Yes.
while the other Transformers were still out in Cybertron.
Okay.
And so Optimus Prime gave him a mission, and so he's communicating with them. Do this, do that, bro. You're cool.
Okay,
If you need help.
him going like, hey, bro, bro.
And
Bruh.
as you can see, this is the Generation 1 Bumblebee.
All right.
The classic, beetle
Yeah.
bug. So it looks cool. See, there it is.
Oh,
Optimus
how neat. Look at that. They have the holograms and everything.
G1
going on.
Optimus Prime.
They have the teenagers.
Look at that. Look at
the
that.
cartoon.
See?
Remember
Look
the
at that.
cartoon had the
Yeah,
teenagers
look
all
at
the
that.
time?
You see that? See that?
That's so cool,
And
bro.
and look Soundwave. Soundwave's about to come out right now. Look at that. Look at that. This is amazing.
John Cena.
John Cena.
Dun,
Yeah.
dun, dun,
If you know the meme,
dun.
yeah. But okay, Soundwave. See, this year it's about to come out. So 2019, really? Oh, so maybe Christmas holiday season. I did not check that out, so I'm gonna check it out. See?
Another big date for all these films.
Starscream. I believe that's Starscream.
Oh,
See,
sweet.
you see that?
Look at that.
Soundwave, dude, with the little cassette tape.
That is
Like,
so cool.
That's Generation 1. That's OG right there. Those are our
as
Transformers
soon as
right
I saw
there.
John Cena, I'm in.
You're like, I don't care about anything else. I
Pre-order
don't
the
care what
ticket.
else I'm
It's gonna be a
seeing.
good film. John Cena's in it. Hopefully he'll get to do his signature move. What's up, Alex? Joining us right now. What's going on, bro?
So yeah, I don't think he talks. So it's a whole radio communication
Okay.
thing, just like the older Transformer movies. But yeah, the kids, big integral part of the
Mhm.
cartoons. So coming soon. It doesn't say date, Leo. What's going on?
No date yet.
Yeah. So what do you think? Excited?
I'm excited.
Yay,
John
nay?
Cena's in it.
John Cena.
And it's a
That's all you
prequel.
need.
They're
Yep.
not continuing the other stuff. I mean, don't get me wrong. A lot of people hated on the other movies. I was one of those that actually enjoyed them.
I love part 1. Part 1 is my jam.
I was
Part
able.
2, I was like, why?
I mean, growing up as a kid, I loved Transformers, but I don't consider myself a hardcore fan, which is probably why I didn't take all that other stuff to heart like a lot of
I did.
real
dude.
fans.
like I was just
Yeah,
like, why?
right, yeah.
Why?
You know, like some of the things I was able to forgive a little
I mean,
easier.
let's be
but-
let's be serious though. You got the touch from the Transformers movie, the original animated.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous on its own right, but that was childhood. That was
Right.
You're growing up. That's the greatest thing ever. And when you see an adaptation of a children's property, you expect it to be treated with respect to the point where like it's growing up with you. But
That's what you'd hope.
that's
Yeah.
what you'd hope. And when you see Transformers
Looking
2,
at you, Star Wars.
it's like all like fart jokes and like teenage humor. It's really bad.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I still enjoyed it. That's me though. like
Primo!
not being so serious about the whole thing.
Sorry, I had to do it.
Hola, Fer. What's up? Drop some comments. Comentarios.
That's his cousin right there from Mexico. So we have this running joke.
Actually, you know what?
It's your uncle.
I always say primo. I always say, hey, primo. But he's actually my nephew.
Ah, there you go.
Yeah.
Same thing.
I love
So-
you. I love you.
Right here, moving on. New Netflix show. Have you seen this? Have you seen the trailer for this?
I started watching it, but I couldn't listen to it because I forgot where I was. I just didn't have any audio. But it looked interesting. I mean,
The first thing that impressed me
Yeah.
about this, Jonah Hill. Like,
Yeah,
what
Jonah
the
Hill.
heck? Like, he lost a lot of weight,
he's
man.
doing Netflix stuff,
and he lost a lot of weight.
he's half the man he used to be.
Pretty much. It's probably that keto diet that everybody's so crazy about.
Oh, don't get me started about those diets.
But yeah, what is this called? I forgot. Insane, something along those lines. But it's a new Netflix show that I saw the trailer of. I didn't know what it was about. I just started watching because, it recommends new shows to
Right.
you, like when you turn on the app. And I'm like, oh, let's check
It's
this
not
out.
released yet, right? If I
I
understand.
think it is, yes.
Oh,
I
it
think
did
it's out
release.
yet. Yeah,
Oh,
I think
okay.
so. And it's just one of those. It reminds me a lot of the Eternal Sunshine of the Something Spotless Mind. Remember that movie with Jim Carrey? Jim Carrey and you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I think I do.
Yeah, this is DGT. We don't know what we're talking
We
about.
don't know
but
what we're talking about.
but when we
It's
talk to each other,
all
we remember.
improvisation.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of that same vibe where I guess this two had their memories erased. Or
Yeah.
they're going through like a experiment trial or some sort, and no matter what they do with their brain waves to make them be like in different states of mind, fantasies, movies, whatever, they always end up attracting to each other. So they always find each other. And so I guess that's the premise of this
Interesting.
series. And as you can see, I guess there was like a lot of the rings scene type of stuff and some
So I
like
wonder,
teenage
is
movie.
each episode gonna be a different situation?
It might be. I mean, it can probably
see.
carry on and, kind of
Yeah.
like halfway through.
She's
they
a great
switch.
actress, by the way.
Emma
I loved her
Stone.
in La La Land. She's excellent.
Maniac. That's the show.
Maniac.
Yeah. So
Gotta sing it.
it's a Netflix exclusive.
Man, Netflix still
Check
bringing
it
it.
Yeah, dude.
Still bringing it, bro.
Yeah.
I can't wait
September
for
21st.
the
Definitely
real
came out.
competition to come out. Disney, I'm looking at you.
Seriously.
And
Oh,
that's when we're
dude.
gonna see some extra cool stuff.
Dude,
What?
that's right.
Blockbuster Alaska? It's the only one left
Have
in the
you
world.
seen this yet?
No, I have not.
Oh,
What's this
dude.
about?
This is Captain Marvel's trailer. Remember, like our last
Oh,
show,
yeah.
we were talking about how they were supposed to drop the trailer, and instead they gave us pictures through Entertainment Weekly.
Yes.
And now, without even letting us know, with no notice, boom, trailer for Captain Marvel.
Trailer for
I love
Captain
Marvel.
Marvel.
It's like they don't care about you, bruh. They don't care about media. They don't care about like, oh yeah, stay tuned because we're gonna release the trailer. It's like, boom, right there it is.
Well, that's kind of what they want you to think. However, doing stuff like this gets buzz generated, and they kind of they
Control you.
they got the millennial vibe down, and they
Oh,
know
man.
exactly what
Yeah.
pushes the millennial buttons, and we'll get them to the movie theater
Yeah.
hopefully.
Yeah, so we can see more of what Captain Marvel is about. It looks as though she fell from space, dude.
Yeah.
Fell from space right into a blockbuster. So it tells us right away it marks the decade
Now-
this is going to
Now,
be set
have you
on.
read the comics?
A few here and there,
A few
but
here and
not,
there. You
I'm
don't
not
know
a big
too
fan.
much about
no.
her? Okay, I was just gonna ask, is that how it happens in the comics? I don't know.
Adam Warlock. It's supposed to have a big. He's like the most powerful being in the universe.
Yeah.
And he's part of like the whole, Guardians of the Galaxy vibe, Thanos type. He's out in space. For some reason, this chick goes to space and becomes Captain Marvel. It looks as though they're using the whole like amnesia type of thing. When she drops to Earth, she doesn't remember who she is. She doesn't remember that she is from Earth, and they're just doing the whole trying to recover memories as we go type of thing.
Yeah.
And so the main idea is that they're setting up her story to come and save Infinity War. Because as you know from
Right,
Infinity
they
War,
kinda have
the
to do that,
beeper and all
right.
that. So of course we need to know who she is first.
Okay.
So I think this releases in March next year. So March or Yeah, has to be March because I think Infinity War is May. So, lots of Marvel.
Actually, you know what? I've told you before. I'm getting the superhero fatigue a lot of the time and all that. This is what I'm looking.
Unsubscribe to Leo right now.
This is what I'm looking
Unsubscribe
forward
Leo.
to. This is actually one I'm looking forward to
Captain Marvel.
because to me she seems a lot like the Superman type.
Yeah.
And
Like all powerful.
yeah, and
Mhm.
that's not something you see too much of in Marvel films.
Nope.
There's not too many Superman type of characters.
Checks and balances. Yeah. All right. So moving on. Something even cooler, Leo.
Oh yeah, I saw this one during.
You did see
I was
this one
watching football, as you guys know, out there in
in the
internet
football
land.
land.
I'm a huge 49ers fan. Rest in peace, 49ers season. Their quarterback is out. Kaepernick. Well, there's been people saying they should hire him back, but I don't know. I don't think so. Their backup is pretty good. He's pretty
Well,
decent.
Now
The
we
third-
know. Now we know the plot of the movie and what's gonna entail.
Yes.
Why we're going to the internet.
Mhm.
Basically, as you saw at the beginning, yeah, Penelope's game broke. So
Mhm.
the steering wheel it's messed up, and so you know that the same thing happened to Q-Bird in the first movie, and the turbo. You know, don't go turbo on me, like
Right.
whatever. Once their game is shut off, they have no more job basically or home,
Right.
and
right,
if
right.
they die outside of their game, that's it. They die forever.
They're done.
So of course they want to try to bring their game back, and in order to do so, they have to order the steering wheel, the part,
See, this is why I think
and they go to the internet.
why I think physical media is so important instead of just digital downloads to your
Mm.
hard drive. Because
Yeah.
once your hard drive busts,
Yeah,
it's
that's
gone
it.
forever, bro.
Yeah. So basically, it shows us a little more of their, I guess, adventure trying to recover that steering wheel from the internet. We meet new characters.
Ken Palmer's watching.
Uh,
What's up, Ken?
Hey, Ken.
Drop a comment down below. Whoop, whoop.
And so we see Disney princesses because I guess they go to the Disney app and they see a whole bunch of Disney stuff. Obviously, we start seeing some like falling apart from, Penelope and Ralph. Kind of like, you don't need them. This new
Mhm.
chick is trying to tell her that, she's her own man, quote unquote. But we see that lady from the fighting game or the shooting game makes a comeback.
Okay.
Felix is there. So all your favorites are there.
Felix.
Fix it, Felix.
I love that character.
And so, yeah, it looks like it's going to be great again. I mean, you can't go wrong with established characters. So they're doing that a lot these days, making sequels of
Yeah.
successful franchises. Disney is.
That's good.
I mean-
this was one of my favorite video game films of all time, and it just makes me so happy that this is getting a sequel. I'm hoping it's treated right. I'm hoping it's successful, but I'm not getting my hopes up too much just because I hold the original film in such high regard. I
Mm.
think it's going to be kind of hard to get to that level one more time.
You know which sequel is better than the original, in my opinion?
Which one?
Aladdin 2. Return of Jafar.
Return of Jafar?
I think it's better than the first one.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know.
Wow.
Just personal preference.
Wow.
Come
That's
at me, bro.
Interesting.
Come at me, bro.
I liked it. I really liked it. I liked it a lot, actually.
Why
It's a
did I
great film?
place this
But,
on?
yeah.
See, I had a plan last week. Like I said, we didn't come to terms, but I play. Why did I put this Star Wars here? I guess it's been announced.
Kathleen Kennedy got.
That's a good way
No?
to segue into that. Yeah, she got confirmed again 3 more years after
3 more years.
after we
3
all
more
thought
years.
and the
3
internet
more
thought
years.
that she was done. Leo
I
certainly
don't
doesn't like her.
it. I don't like. I mean, her history as a producer. She's produced some amazing films. She has great talent. However, I see that she has just completely
I remember why.
misused the Star Wars franchise. They could have signed her on for anything else. I would have been like, cool, whatever, do your thing. But don't do that with Star Wars. So far, she's just been kind of like messing things up, bro.
Mhm.
messing
Well,
things
the
up.
reason why I put this in the playlist is 2 reasons actually. The first one
Yes.
is that JJ, it's the one finishing the trilogy, and it's been a leak rumor that Rey's parents are actually going to be someone important, somebody important, because there's a scene where Rey is talking to her parents, presumably her parents, and they're glowing. So kind of
Oh.
like a ghost. And
Oh.
Force Ghost is the only thing that comes out to mind in the
Now-
Star Wars universe.
That's really cool because, as you know, I
Mhm.
was on board with the first film,
Mhm.
even though it was like
Yeah.
50% just remake of the original.
No hope.
Yes. And the second film, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a really good film. Not a great film, a really good film.
Really good. Yeah.
But it just was not
Mm-hmm.
the sequel in this trilogy. It just felt like it was a completely separate film.
Dude.
It was just so separate from where this episode 8 was
Mhm.
going.
Yeah.
Am I on the right episode? Yeah.
Yeah. 7, 8.
7, 8. Oh, where 7 started driving to,
Mhm.
8 did a U-turn and was like, nah, detour, like,
Nah.
and
See you
it
later.
just completely seemed like
Mhm.
like it had no place in this
Plus,
new trilogy.
Kylo Ren tells Rey in that movie, your parents were nobodies.
Right,
like kind of
right.
like telling the fans, like,
Mhm.
don't even expect anything from that because they're nobodies.
Yeah.
But now this rumor
So,
of somebody
having-
spying on the film,
Having the
making,
director back from episode 7,
it seems
I
like he's
think
going to
kinda
fix.
steering-
He's
he
going,
woke up, he
we
got
gotta
his-
go back to how it was.
he's
Mhm.
driving the family. He needed some rest.
I don't fall asleep.
Went to he fell asleep, woke up. They
The
realized
trrrr on the
they-
road. It's
they
like, oh, crap.
realized they were lost. They had taken some sort of
Mm.
wrong turn somewhere,
Yep.
and now he's gonna drive back. Turn
Yeah.
the GPS on. He's gonna set things right, people.
So
I don't know if it's gonna just take one film to correct things.
well, yeah, it might take a while, but
The
there.
sequel
That's
kinda
why.
messed things up.
That's why there's talks already that this film is gonna be divided into 2.
Oh God, please.
So it's gonna be
Yes,
part
yes.
1 and part 2, which I'm not
Stop.
totally against that, but it's lame because it's no longer a trilogy. You know?
I agree. I agree. It is lame. I agree, but certain measures have to be taken to correct
What
that
Ryan
detour.
Johnson did.
I mean,
Um,
Ryan Johnson. you did
He's a good
you
filmmaker.
You're a good filmmaker.
I
You did a good
respect
job,
his job. Yeah,
but it wasn't
not what
the
we wanted.
sequel. The sequel to episode 7.
It's not what we
Sorry.
wanted. It's what he wanted. You
Right,
know, and
right.
and it's kind of like well, that's one of the things.
They should do like episode 7 and then the episode 8 non-canon edition, and then this one should be like
like
episode.
forget about it.
Yeah.
Kind of like a director's cut.
Ex-
Well, so that's one of the things.
Too late for that though.
If they're Force ghosts, they're more than likely used to be Jedi. So that will explain her powers.
Erica's
The
watching.
other
What's
thing,
up, Erica?
Hi, Erika. The other thing is that Ryan Johnson, speaking of, his trilogy just got canned. His project
Ooh.
for the new trilogy. They're just like, nah, dude, sorry, but
I'm sorry,
yeah,
but
he's not doing it. They're not doing it. They're not
I
going
know I
forward to
kind
it.
of celebrated there a little bit, but it would have been interesting to be honest with you. Like, I liked episode 8.
Well, this comes
But-
after a conversation that the CEO of Disney, Bob Iger, had with I think it was Variety or Vogue, not Vogue, one of those fancy schmancy magazines, and they asked them, it's like they're talking about Han Solo, kind of like it was a flop in the box office. I like the movie. Leo likes the movie, but it
You know
wasn't
what?
a blockbuster.
When I texted you
Mhm.
and I told you like, oh, this movie's great. I don't know
Mhm.
what the big deal was about it
Yeah.
flopping. I thought I was halfway through the movie.
Yeah. What do you think about the
It
cameo
was-
at the end?
It was just Act 1. It
Mm.
wasn't. I wasn't even halfway through.
I've been meaning
And-
to ask you
And
this.
I
I've been
wanna-
waiting to
I'm
ask you this.
I'm sorry to disappoint you. Please forgive me,
Mm.
but I didn't finish watching it.
Oh,
I had to leave.
dude.
The movie
Oh,
is
man.
more than 2 hours
That's
long.
cool. I've waited this long. I can
thought
wait longer.
I thought it was a 90-minute movie. I thought
No,
I was
it's
gonna have
longer.
enough time to
No,
watch it.
no.
And then I'm like, wait a minute, they're gonna
Mhm.
go off into another
Oh, yeah.
story arc.
Yeah.
Like I thought this was gonna be it.
Yeah.
And no, there was way more to it, and I had to leave. I
Yeah.
was on a time budget, and
Time budget.
I haven't. I'm sorry, dude.
That's
I,
all right. We'll
I
wait.
need to finish.
Well-
so far I really like it. So far it's really
Nah,
good.
cool. So Bob Iger talks about the flop and all this and all that, and they're like, you know what? Maybe we did do a bit too much with the franchise too soon. So his words, we're going to slow down. And Ryan Johnson's
I read-
trilogy is like, it's out.
I read an article about that where they mentioned something about them not releasing as much
As
Star Wars
anymore.
material
Mhm.
anymore.
Yep.
Now I don't know if that includes TV shows.
There was an
cartoons,
Obi-Wan movie being worked
movie.
on, and I think they stopped that as well.
That too.
Yes,
That's
and
the one I was looking
I know.
forward to.
And so, but now they're concentrating on Jon Favreau's Star Wars show on the Disney app. And they released a shot today of his film, his first shot. And it looks like we're back at the cantina, Mos Eisley.
Mhm.
So I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking
Nice.
forward to the animated pilot show.
That's good.
So
That's good.
So yeah,
Jon
Star Wars
Favreau,
might be
talented guy.
fixed just yet. And this dude right here, I don't know if you know this guy, Graham Bessinger. He's a British dude. He has like a talk show.
Okay.
And so you see John Hamm right there.
Yeah.
You know who he is, right?
Yes, I do.
Mad Men. You know, he's very famous for Mad Men. And he asked them, it's like, hey, so the internet always asks, how come you haven't done Batman? And he's like,
Oh, he would be a pretty good Batman.
he's like, you
That's
know what?
right.
I have heard that too. It's like, I've been sitting down in the same room with the people that make those decisions. Nobody has asked me. So the guy asked him, if you were asked, would you do it? In a heartbeat. He's a comic book
Oh,
fan. He likes the
nice.
character. He wants to be Batman, people. Internet, make it happen.
He has that Bruce Wayne look. I can already tell you.
Yes, he is Bruce Wayne all the way.
How would he be in a suit? Probably great, like anybody else. I'd
Stunt
probably look good in a
doubles.
Batman suit.
Stunt doubles.
Yeah.
Like, it's not even
You know,
needed.
you don't even need real muscle. It's just
Exactly. Look at Michael Keaton.
Yeah,
I
man.
mean, like,
Jeez.
but yeah, I always thought this dude could be a great Batman, or if not, like a great older Batman. So we have received notice, the world has received notice, that both Batman and Superman are out of the DC universe. So Henry Cavill and Ben Affleck are out.
Oh, you mean the actors?
The actors.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're out.
Yeah.
They're no longer
Okay.
going to reprise their roles. The
Oh man, you know
the movie that
that's-
guy from Planet of the Apes was working on.
Yeah.
No more Ben Affleck.
Oh man, you know
And-
what? I understand why they had to do that, but it's pretty. Sad.
Imagine if Robert Downey Jr. one day says like, you know what, I'm out, yo. Like that's it for the Marvel universe.
Well, to me, it's kind of sad just because Ben Affleck, I don't think ever got a fair shot.
He didn't. He
never-
got
from the-
crappy movies.
From the get-go, he
he
never
got
got a
crappy
fair shot.
movies.
And then when he was gonna direct his very own film, like where
Yeah.
it would have all been on him, it would have
Mhm.
been like on,
Yep.
he would have been like, my bad if it wasn't a good movie.
My bad.
Yeah, like they scrapped it. He was
Mhm.
good. He had his own thing. He's been a
And
fan
that's when
of
they called this
for a
other
long
dude.
time, and
Yeah.
yeah, and he never got a fair shot. And forever, I think people as a whole are gonna say Ben Affleck was a crappy Batman, and that's a shame.
Yeah,
I
so-
know he didn't get fired because of that. He had other personal issues, but still, you know,
Henry
kinda
Cavill was supposed
sad.
to cameo in Shazam. You know,
Okay, yeah.
Superman was supposed to make an appearance. He's like, nah. It's like, I wanted to have my own movie. Superman 2, Man of Steel 2 was supposed to be Batman v Superman. And they hijacked that to bring Batman in.
Right.
And so he's like, all right, you know what? I'll take it. Word was that right after Batman v Superman, he was supposed to do Man of Steel 2.
okay.
And Justice League came in because Warner decided that they should have rushed everything in to catch up to Marvel. And so, contract-wise, Henry Cavill's contract is supposed to say he's supposed to have a movie like 4 years ago, a second movie. And that option is gone. And now with everything that's happening with the DC Universe, no one knows when the new Superman Part 2 is going to come out. And so he's just like, I ain't going to be doing all these cameos just to, to
set
keep the
up other
character. Yeah,
characters.
it's like, I'm done.
Yeah,
And
he,
he
better
walked
be
away.
asking for that cheddar.
Yeah, he walked away, and Ben Affleck has some problems with rehab, alcohol things going on, a divorce going
Right.
on. So that's understandable. That's more understandable
Yeah,
than Henry
I
Cavill.
mean-
But all the same, we need a new Batman and a new Superman fast.
It's kind of sad.
And this guy,
Kinda sad,
John
man.
Hamm. So we'll see.
John Hamm.
Moving on.
Hopefully it'll be for the better.
Did you review this, Leo?
You know what? I have not paid any attention to the world
No?
of video games in the last 2 weeks.
Well, Nintendo unveiled their online service for $20 a month, I believe it is, $19.99,
Okay.
something like that.
Give me the lowdown, Francisco.
As
I
you
have
see-
a feeling I'm gonna be disappointed.
Yes, I am disappointed. As you see down here, of course, if you want to play multiplayer online with your Switch, you need to have a subscription now.
Okay.
It's like PSN and Xbox Live, same idea. The thing that Nintendo doesn't understand yet is that in order for you to chat with your buddies, have voice chat, you need to plug this thing into your phone and then grab headphones from your phone into your ears and have your phone connected via Bluetooth to your
They're
Nintendo
still going
Switch.
with that system
Yes.
where you have to download that
Yes.
app to
Yes.
your phone and do all that
Yes.
stuff.
Yes, I know. That's so.
Nintendo, shame on you.
Oh man.
How
So,
could you do that?
Yeah, and
How could you do that, Nintendo? Oh my goodness,
Mhm.
bro.
so
Bros.
the cool thing about it though, this caught my attention. The Nintendo Classic. So now every month you're gonna get every so many games, whatever. You can play online. You can play online with the classic games. So that's kind of cool. So we can play the old Mario Bros. Multiplayer when
Yeah.
you're at your house and I'm at my house, and data,
Yeah.
saved to the cloud.
I
Like
mean-
that's standard. That's not a big thing, but yeah. The other thing that I didn't like about this, and I kind of do like it, is
Yeah.
the fact that those classic looking controllers, Nintendo NES controllers,
Yeah.
they're compatible with your Nintendo Switch. They recharge on the sides just like a Joy-Con would. But in order for you to buy those controllers, you need to have a subscription to the online service. Otherwise, you have to go to eBay where they're gonna be sold by like $200.
No.
Yeah.
Nintendo. God.
There's the app, Leo. Like start voice chat. Yeah, let's start.
No.
Voice chat.
Nintendo, shut up.
Shut up, Nintendo.
Golly, Nintendo. Just when I was thinking I was gonna buy a Nintendo Switch,
Yeah.
they go and do something like this.
Yeah. And see, that's where you can be talking on your phone on speaker apparently. So you don't always have to have your headset on.
I
So
mean,
just might as well just call your friend on the phone. I mean, it's like, why are we doing this?
yeah, I agree. I agree.
But that app is good for, other people to see your scores, leaderboard thing.
I get it.
Uh,
I get it.
I
but,
don't.
I mean, I get it if they want that app. Sure, great. But
Yeah.
don't force people to use that instead of offering it
See,
in
controllers.
game. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah.
Golly,
So,
Nintendo.
Started September 18. And
Jeez,
yeah,
well,
there
then-
it is. 1 month for $3.99, or 3 months $7.99, or the 1 year for $19.99.
You
I
know
mean, the
what?
prices are
The
cheap enough.
Price is fine.
Uh,
I think the price is fine, but
so whatever,
Jeez,
Nintendo.
okay.
Moving on.
what's up with this?
Have you seen this?
No.
It's Ronald McDonald in the subway in New York. This is the first look, thanks to TMZ, of Joaquin Phoenix as the Joker.
Ooh.
So they were filming, in the subway in New York, and there it is. That's Joaquin Phoenix cosplaying as the Joker.
I'm like, I'm short of breath right now seeing that. He looks so good as the Joker. I know people are saying Ronald McDonald and whatnot, but I think he looks like a good Joker.
Oh my God.
Don't you think?
Yeah, I mean, it's like the classic comic book
we
look.
We have to understand in the comics, he didn't get his look immediately. He went through a process.
Yeah, he was a gangster. He was like in the mafia and all that, and then, well, depends on the
Yeah,
comic
it
book you're
depends on the
looking at.
comic.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, The Killing Joke,
Oh,
where
yeah.
it has a lot of
Yeah, that's different.
it has a lot of like throwbacks to what his memories are before he was Joker.
No, here we go. That's a good look right now.
You're gonna pause it here. Boom.
There he is.
There
He looks
is.
too happy for my taste. I don't know. He doesn't look as deranged
You know
as he
what?
should be.
I mean, you gotta understand this is cell phone footage.
Yeah.
On camera, the emotions are captured much better
Mhm.
on those $100,000 cameras that
Yeah.
Hollywood uses. But from what I see here,
But that's
this
the
is like-
classic suit, though.
this
like
is
the one.
awesome.
Yeah.
This is almost like the suit that you see in the 1960s Batman.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Romero.
Yeah.
Cesar Romero. Yeah. That's right.
That looks like almost like one of those suits.
Yeah.
And dare I say, the makeup even looks slightly similar.
Very similar, yeah. So I don't know. I mean, it's kind of, we have to wait and see one of those deals, and we have to see where this movie falls into place according to the rest of the universe. I don't think there's
From
a
what I
universe.
understand, this is a standalone Joker flick that's a prequel, and so far
no Batman supposedly.
So far, no Batman is involved in any of this.
So
before we continue to the next part, AJ's asking, "Hey Leo, have you gotten your Biggie Funko Pops?"
Biggie.
Not yet. Not yet.
Not
They're
yet.
still not in. Sorry. Sorry. I'll let you know. I'll let you know when I get them.
Yeah, we'll see.
Baby.
So there it is, Ronald McDonald Joker, as Leo calls him, and the news that PlayStation, Sony is copying Nintendo once again.
Oh, come on. You're really going to say that?
I am going to say
You're
that.
going to say Sony is copying Nintendo.
That was Nintendo's idea, true and true. And you know that.
No,
Yes.
and you know it.
I do, though.
No. Nintendo has not been the first system to have a mini.
Yes, they are.
No, they're not.
Who was the other one?
Sega had a mini console out. I know it was a third party.
But
there was a mini
That was
Sega,
a thing that looked like this big. It didn't even look anything like the console, dude.
and there was also the PlayStation Mini, the original PlayStation Mini. It was like the third or fourth iteration of the PlayStation.
Dude, yeah, but that's like saying PlayStation 2 Slim, Leo. Come on.
Yeah.
God,
But
dude.
I'm telling you, it's not an original, and it's not an idea that Nintendo owns.
No, it is because they
There's
shrunk the console itself with all the features that made the
I-
console
what
look
I
like
will
what it
give
was.
What I will give you is this: Nintendo was the first to make it work well, and they sold it well, and they marketed it well. They sold it as not a new piece of tech that was more compact. They sold it as like.
It's an emulator. It's an emulator, yeah.
Here's your nostalgia. You
And
want
people
it?
bought it, and people wanted it.
That's perfect. Hits the spot. Now, in terms of marketing, yes, PlayStation, they see an opportunity. They're going to say, hey, we can do that too. We got a product that people will like, that people will want to buy. Why not? That's money on the table. Free money. Thanks, Nintendo. So, I would love to see... I know this is silly because most people don't like the fanboy wars and all that, but I would love to see PlayStation versus Nintendo 64.
That's what's going to happen, dude. That's what I was going to, because we have seen the patents that Nintendo threw out to the European Union and North America with the design of the Nintendo 64 controller, like we have seen on the past boxes of the Super Nintendo and Nintendo Classics. The same outline. Now we have the Nintendo 64 counterpart. So I was telling Leo and Rick earlier, like 2 weeks ago, when this was announced, that it's like Sony just stole Nintendo's market from right under their noses, because there were some problems with the Nintendo 64 because it is a bigger unit. It's supposed to be a little harder to emulate, because you've said it yourself. When you emulate on the computer, the Nintendo 64 games, they don't always emulate like they did on the cartridges.
Yeah.
So you were able to get one of those cartridges where you can just like emulate, or not emulate, but play the ROMs off of a cartridge.
You just
right from the hardware.
Load the ROMs onto one cartridge, and then off of that, play it on your original N64. It's not emulation. It's just a workaround of the media workaround,
right.
I guess you could say.
And so a lot of people opted for that instead of emulating on the computer, because emulation for the Nintendo 64 is not perfect. There's a few games, like I think it's Shadow of the Empire, and I think Cruising USA, that don't always give you the amount of frames per second that they're supposed to give you, and it's kind of a mess to play if you emulate. So that's what Nintendo was kind of struggling with, and so they were for a second not going to release the Nintendo 64 this year, because we've been seeing year after year
the
like
patents and the releases of their classic consoles.
And so I tell these guys, Sony just went like, oh, you can emulate, we can, boom.
Here you go, son.
Announced for December of this year, for the holidays, 30 games, 30 classic PlayStation 1 games, 2 controllers, HDMI input. No word on what all the games are, but there's a few ones that they said, like Final Fantasy 7, some RPGs. I can't remember them all, but I'm expecting at least Metal Gear Solid. If Metal Gear Solid is in there,
it kind of has to be in there.
I'm all in. I'm already in. I already
Symphony of the
pre-ordered
Night.
it. Yeah.
We already know Final Fantasy
Crash
7's
Bandicoot,
in there.
You know,
Crash Bandicoot.
they have
The
to be
other
in there.
one that I think is a must-have that was a staple of the PlayStation was Resident Evil or Resident Evil 2.
Yeah, part 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I don't know. We'll have to wait
Although
and see.
I have to admit, Siphon Filter, Tenchu, those were awesome
Those
too.
were they
Spyro
were
the
good games.
Dragon, Twisted Metal. I could go on and on.
Yeah, but you
I
remember
have-
back
I have
in the
to s-
90s.
I have to say, back when the Nintendo 64 and the PlayStation were going at it, the PlayStation ended up being one of those consoles I kind of, in retrospect, wish I would have bought also.
Yeah.
I mean,
Mm.
I don't
I was
regret
a
getting...
Nintendo fanboy.
I don't
fanboy.
regret getting the Nintendo 64. That's still my more favorite
I
console.
was
of the
loyal
two.
to Nintendo. I wasn't even gonna look at a PlayStation at that time.
Oh, yeah, same here. That was
Yeah.
my theory back then. But now it's different. But anyways,
Yeah, well,
what are
December.
we looking at?
I don't know if you heard the news. We're looking at some of the best games that Telltale Games has put out there.
Oh, I heard about it.
I
heard
don't
about
know
Telltale
where, dude.
closing.
I don't know where. They
Yeah.
didn't even announce anything. They just said that about like 4 or 5 days ago, people went to work and they were laid off.
Yep.
They were given the notice that, I'm sorry, you no longer have a job and we're closing down the company.
No. Now, what I understand is they're not closing the company. They were just laying off.
Restructuring.
Yeah,
They're
they're-
restructuring, but eventually they're
they,
closing.
They laid off. What was it? Like 60% of their employees.
Yeah, like 100 plus employees.
Jeez.
Yeah, no, the end game plan is they're closing down.
Yeah.
That's it. No more Telltale.
Now, I've heard talk that one of the major companies might want to buy Telltale.
They
Xbox,
might.
like Xbox, they're desperate for exclusive games.
N-
Telltale might be a company they want to acquire.
The reason how I know of this company was a Back to the Future game. That's how I learned about
That was
them.
one of their first
Yes,
uh,
a big thing.
big title
Yes,
games that they started
And-
working on.
and their style of gameplay, it's like those kind of games where like you're given a choice, you know, like you're supposed to find your way around the game. It's not like a straight, you know, line where you're supposed to go from point A to point B, but along the way you're given tools and various things to like solve mysteries, puzzles, things like that, and advance your game. You can end up dying or you can end up, you know, triumphing, and that was the key element on this type of games. They had Game of Thrones games. They had Batman games. They had Guardians of the Galaxy. They had a huge bunch of licenses.
I have to say, out of all those games,
Walking Dead.
Out of all those games, The Walking Dead was the one.
That one is. It was
That
like
one
on their
was just-
6th or 7th
it
season
was-
already.
It was so emotionally
Mhm.
gripping. The choices that you make in that game, the results that come off of those choices,
Mm-hmm.
and the ending to it, it's just such an emotional game. It captures you. It doesn't play too well as a game, like gameplay wise.
It's like a story, more like a
But
story,
yeah, it's more of a
where you're like
the
kind of put in
storytelling.
charge.
Exactly.
So
And it did so well. I kind of, it's kind of sad to see them go, but at the same time, I get it.
money.
There's too much of this stuff
Mm-hmm.
out
and,
there.
and
like
not a lot of
it's-
people are buying.
It's oversaturated nowadays. The
Video game market.
novelty of this style of game just kind of wore off. You know,
Yeah.
gameplay is king.
Yeah, and if you're not playing, you know, there's some scenes of the Guardians of the Galaxy game. I didn't get a chance to play much of those games other than the Back to the Future and a little bit of the Walking Dead. But from what I keep hearing, it's like the Game of Thrones, all of those franchises, they were so close. They would play like side stories
Yeah.
to the actual main, you know, series or movies or whatever you were watching. But I've heard that the Batman,
Right.
that one was like that's a perfect game. That was like another, you know,
Yeah.
Batman story.
Actually, I have that game. I
Oh,
played
man.
chapter 1. It was great.
Like,
But you know, I have so many games to play in so little time. I didn't get past the first chapter, but it's great. I really recommend it. Through Steam, the friend sharing option. Have I ever done that for you?
not
Like,
for me, just for Rick, because now
Yeah.
we know who his friend.
Yeah, my friends.
Favorite
I've
friend.
always told you, like, when are you gonna invite me over so I can log into your computer?
Yeah,
and
well,
be able to
life.
share my
Yeah.
library with you.
Yeah.
But life is life.
Life is life. Yeah, so I don't know if I have anything else after this. No, I believe that's the last.
You
thing.
know, we've had a great show. We told you people at home that we were gonna have a very special show. So I have for AJ Bishop out there a very special announcement just for you.
Oh snap!
DGT Mini coming this holiday. Only one made just for you.
That's good.
I'm just kidding, guys. Just kidding. No DGT Mini.
No.
Or can we make DGT?
We can try.
We can
We'll
try to make
see.
like a mini, like a 5-minute episode.
Yeah, there you go. DGT Mini.
There you
All
go.
right, that's our show, folks.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. I'd like to remind you to check us out on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram. Also, we have cool merchandise, all geek-inspired merchandise designed by yours truly and Francisco at digitalgametime.com/merchandise, where you can see
We're trying to fix things here. Sorry, folks.
Francisco.
I
I'm excited.
apologize.
What do you have in store for us?
Nothing. It's nothing important. It's just that I realized that I didn't prepare the end of the show. So, yeah, that's kind of like I am trying to get rid of this, but it's not working, Leo.
It's not working.
It's not working.
Are you going to make it work?
Probably not.
Probably not.
There we go.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll fix
So
it.
are we
Yeah, we're
ready?
good. We're
Or-
good.
We're good?
Yeah, we're good. Sorry, folks.
Okay.
This is what happens when you have a live show. See? You should appreciate us.
Yeah. I'm sure they do.
All
I'm sure
right.
they do.
Cool.
Yeah.
So, as you were.
As I was. I'm Leo along with
Francisco!
until next time. Enjoy your games and love your families. Ciao.
Hello there! Digital Game Time, your show about games, movies, and pop culture is now live every week. Follow them and watch the show every Monday on Facebook Live at 7 p.m. Pacific Time. Comment, participate, and interact with Leo, Rick, and Francisco as they tell you what's happening in the world of entertainment at facebook.com/digitalgametime. Also, be sure to follow them on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitch at Digital Game Time, and check out their t-shirts with original designs inspired by pop culture at digitalgametime.com/merchandise. And remember, enjoy your entertainment and love your family.